Hey, what's going on YouTube? Lionel here. Hope things are well with everyone. I've been watching a lot of videos recently. Man loves cologne. Has just been pumping out some really good stuff that I've been enjoying. Um, Gregory Boy has been doing a great job. I mean, just everyone, man. So if I don't mention you, don't think it's nothing personal. I've been watching a lot. The things that have been just popping up has been amazing. Shout out to the Fragrance Bros. Watched the video about Jeremy leaving. I'll tell him I said hello. Hope things are well with him. Mickers has been doing crazy with the splits. Very, very crazy with all the splits. But needless to say, I really appreciate all the recent subscribers. I thank you guys a lot. Sorry I haven't really been doing much. Actually, I should pump out another video. Hopefully I can get I'll be the first to review or do a out of the box test to help just to contribute to all of the hype of all the recent releases and this versus that. So anyway, with that said, let's jump right into it. So I'm going to give you my 15 for spring this year. Again, I understand that I am in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. So it gets hot. Sort of, this year's been just sort of a weird year. We've been cool and hot, cool and hot. I think we were in the 80s all this weekend, but tomorrow we're going to be in the 50s. So it's just kind of been up and down. Really, really non-stable or unstable weather, to say the least. But with that, anyway, so again, when I think of spring, it's right around, so here's what I've been wearing, and here's what some of these things will kind of trickle over into the summer months. Some of them won't, and I'll tell you which ones won't. But understanding it's really hot here really fast, so we have a very small, very tight spring window, so to say. Because again, I mean, it can be 70s, 80s in March, and it can be 50s and 40s in March. I mean, within the same week. So because of that instability, I reach for stuff. But here's some things that I've just kind of been mixing on. They've just really been staples for me this spring. And I'm jump right into these things aren't listed, and the only two things that you won't see on this list are Ventus and Royal Oud, and that's just because those two are my signature scents. I don't really put them in a mix of anything. These are just those things I wear year round for whatever reason I wear them for. But anyway, here we go. Let's jump right into it. So this one is one that'll be a very short cycle for the spring. I typically wear it starting February, and it sort of tapers off around March. And that is Chanel Allure Homme. This is a first ballot Hall of Fame designer for me. I will always own it. But needless to say, and this was pretty much new, and I've put a pretty good dent in Allure Homme. The next one is Great Vetiver, and sometimes if I'm in a shirt and tie, Great Vetiver will get a little more play in the summer. Actually, it's not. I mean, it's not so heavy for the summer, but it can get very spicy for me on my skin. So if it's really hot outside and I'm walking just from the car to the building, I mean, this will heat up real fast. And since I don't have the luxury like I used to in my office to just spray liberally, I'm sort of in a cube now. So because of that, wearing this in the heat can get a bit tricky. The next one comes from the House of Chanel again. This Platinum EGOISte. I'll have to get a new bottle of this one. Again, this is another first ballot Hall of Famer. You know how that one works. It's been on everybody's list. It's I don't know. It's somewhere in my top 20 maybe. Depends on how I feel that day. And the next one surprisingly comes from the House of Cereus. And it is Cereus 7. Now, I have another one in here, GIT, which these are quite similar. But this one is a bit sweeter. A little more dense. It's not as sometimes now I don't know what Creed uses, but whatever the aromatics, whatever the molecules that they use to create GIT, sometimes it's so springy it almost affects me like grass. I have a really bad grass allergy. It'll like when I cut the grass, I wear a mask. I'm almost looking like I'm going through a gas chamber. But needless to say, This one doesn't work as bad as me. This is a little more sweeter, has sort of a leathery vibe, but sort of has a green Irish tweed type of feel to it. And this one probably will make it through early May. After that, it'll get a bit heavy for it. I typically like to wear my citruses in the summer. I'm sort of a traditional when it comes to perfume. So anyway, that one is Series 7. The next one, and again, this list is my top, and this is going to be 15. So I think I pulled 15 out. That was number 4. The next one on the list is Dior Homme. Summer is hard on this one too. The iris kind of gives it a Florida powdery, but that cocoa vibe sort of makes it a bit heavier for me as it relates to the warmer months. The next one, this will get some summer play too, but it's a big floral. It's a little thick. It's heavy on the jasmine, and because it's so heavy on the jasmine, it gets a bit thick in the summer months. It's a really dense fragrance to be a floral, citrusy type of fragrance, and that is Anucci. Love the bottle. I like the lip pops. So anyway, Anucci, nice floral. Shout out to the blend master put me on this one, and I've been loving it ever since. The next one is Geir, or Gay. I think somebody told me it's pronounced Gay. So, but Geir Ness. As you can see, a lot of these are just about empty. Geir Ness is a lovely fragrance, sort of a mix between Platinum EGOISte meets Chanel Allure Homme meets Allure Homme Sport meets Silver Mountain Water. Sort of that vibe to it is sort of icy, sort of screechy. I mean, it has a screechy note to it, but it's not unpleasant. But I tell you what, it is sort of a screechy note that I think it aggravates some people, and for me it works well. But the next one gets a little bit of play in the spring, fall, sort of a year-round fragrance for me. But in the spring is when I reach for this a lot more, just because of that soapy vibe to it. And that is Prada Amber Pour Homme. Another first ballot Hall of Famer from a designer perspective. Competes with most stuff in niche markets. This one doesn't get enough love. I think it was just kind of popular early on. It was like, this was our first niche for all of us early starters, 4 or 5 years ago when we were really getting into the reviews and stuff. Prada Amber was that one on that list. I think it was one of Mark's 5, I think, but I'm not 100% sure. The next one is going to come from the house of Hermes. I got a couple of Hermeses in here, but this one is Un Jardin, a Mediterranne. Actually, this bottle wasn't full. Well, it was full when I bought it, but I split it. Me and Luis Poblano, we split this one. Him and I used to do a lot of good splits together back when he was heavy into fragrances. But this is pretty dense too. Almost sort of has a juicy vibe to it with sort of a tomato. Think of one of those V8 splashes with that tinge of tomato leaf in it or something. It sort of has a tomatoey, but this is the epitome of spring. Like, if you think of epitome of spring, you think of spring, this fragrance is what you raise up because it just defines spring for me. So this one gets a lot of love, a lot of juice. I mean, again, it was half full. I mean, I didn't wear it a whole bunch, but when I wear it, I love it. It's a figgish sort of a fragrance. So the next one comes from the house of Bond. It is Riverside Drive. This one is just about gone. Absolutely love it. The pineapple, the oak moss, green, little sharp, beautiful, beautiful fragrance, Riverside Drive. The next one is from the house of Creed, GIT. Y'all know the classic. I don't even know how much I got in this sapsucker left. I wonder if I can see. I can't see anyone. Anyway, green Irish tweed. I tell you what, there's some I love this fragrance. But every time I wear it, I get the sneezes in the spring. Every single time, it just wears me out. The next one is probably one of just my favorite. It's my favorite mint out of all the mints I've ever smelled. This beats every mint by a mile for me. And it's Cartier Roadster. The vanilla and a vetiver in this. The vetiver at the end can get very, very potent, at least on my skin. And because of that, I don't tend to reach for this a whole bunch in the summer. I'll wear it in the summer, but this gets a lot of love for me, especially now through just say May, because again, June, July, August here is so hot, it's unbelievable. I mean, it is hot. I mean, hundreds. I mean, I think last year we averaged 101 for like 30 days in a row with no rain. So it gets really, really hot. And for Cartier Roadster, so refreshing. Even in the summer, sometimes I'll spray it on, and that immediate mint is so refreshing, so cooling. But that vetiver and that vanilla and the dry down can really wear on you. Next comes from the house of Dolce and Gabbana. It is Dolce and Gabbana Pour Homme. This is the reformulated. This is the this is the UK bottle. Absolutely love it. Signature ready. Love it just as much as the original one I had a few years ago. When it gets hot, this one gets a little rough too because of the sweetness and some of the dents. A little bit of that tobacco note can really wear on you. Next, Tabarome Milisimme from the house of Creed. Ginger. I think some vetiver in there. Very, very refreshing. But very dense and very, very green. This almost kind of behaves the way green Irish tweed does. Sometimes it'll play with my allergies a little bit. So in the summer it'll just be too much for me. That one's pretty thick too. It lays on heavy. For people that say the Creed don't last, I mean, Aventus, green Irish tweed, Silver Mountain Water, Tabarome Milisimme, Royal Oud, all of those guys last forever on my skin. So to all the Creed haters, I mean, don't get me wrong, all the fabrication that Creed makes really isn't that relevant to me. But Creeds perform very well for me. Himalaya is okay. Original Vetiver is pretty good too. Finally, and I really have original Vetiver on this list, but it kind of gets a little summer love for me too. So I think it's going to be on my summer list. And then finally, it's Terre D Hermes. This was full when I got it. So I've used a good, it's 25. I think the guy, he said it was a 30 ml bottle when he sold it to me. Man, it was all the way up to here. So it's probably, he kind of gave me 45 mils or so. And I've used it down about 25. So this one gets a lot of love for me. I will buy the bottle whenever I run out of this one. I just, there's no use in me buying a bottle now because I have so much. Orange, citrusy, vetiver. As you can see, a lot of these are vetiver heavy, man, to be honest. Yeah, a lot of my favorites are vetiver heavy. I am a vetiver fan, not in the purest of forms, but especially when it's mixed with something. So anyway, that's my top 15. Again, let me repeat it slowly. I had Terre D Hermes. I had Dolce and Gabbana Pour Homme. I had Cartier Roadster. I have Green Irish Tweed. I have Riverside Drive by Bond. I have Prada Amber Pour Homme. I have Anucci by Anucci. This says EDT, but it performs like a superior EDP. I have the lovely Hermes Un Jardin series, and this is Mediterranne. Tabarome Milisimme by Creed. I have Cereus Pour Homme. This is series number 7. Series number 7. Geir Ness, however you want to pronounce it. The lovely and beautiful gray vetiver by Tom Ford. Classic Dior Homme. Should be in your staple, Chanel Allure Homme. And finally, I have EGOISte, and that is the platinum version. So, thank you guys so much. I'm going to try to get a video out, unboxing first sniff comparison video, and I'll let you know. Hopefully I'll get that out this week. I don't know if I'll have time. If somebody beats me to it, I don't really care, but I will try to get this out by next weekend if I don't get it by this week. So anyway, appreciate you guys subscribing, all you recent subscribers. If I hadn't commented to you, I apologize. Comment and I'll try to reach out to you. Shout out to all of the great reviewers. Guys, keep it up. I'm learning a lot from everyone. Peace.